Hey guys, welcome. This is Chetan and this is the OnePlus One that was launched with the tagline of flagship killer for 2014, and this comes with the Android 4.4.2 KitKat based on the CyanogenMod 11S. So in this device you could do a lot of things that are not possible on most of the other Android smartphones thanks to the CyanogenMod, and this is a video where I would be giving you a few tips and tricks. So the first tip that I would be giving you here is on setting up the power menu. Usually the power menu comes a static one with no changes possible for any Android phone, but in CyanogenMod you could do a lot of stuff in that. There's a perfect list of options which you could add or remove from the power menu, and for that you need to go to the settings, and under the device settings there's the buttons options, and in that the first option is the power menu, where you would see these options as the reboot menu, screenshot, expanded desktop. This is when you connect your device to the larger screens. There's profile switcher, airplane mode, and sound panel. So you could remove any of the options and add any of them. So once I would do that, now you can see that there's just two options because power off is anyways there and reboot is there now. And as I added screenshot, now once I click on screenshot it would take the screenshot. So that's how easy it is to set up the power menu and add or remove the options that are available for it. The next tip is on how you can change the notification LED light that is present just right to the front camera on the OnePlus One. The light color can be changed to any color that you wanted, and that is again based on what settings you need it for, either for the battery is charging or when the battery is low. You need to go to settings, and under the display and light settings you can see there's an option called as battery light, which is right now enabled. Once you disable it, there won't be any notification LED light showing up for any case. And once you enable that, there are three options, that is the battery low, charging, and fully charged, and you can change the color to any color that you want, and there's a color palette that is given there. So you can drag the finger on the color options and you can see there's a live preview of the light on the top just beside the camera, and even if you have any information about the color codes, you can use the codes to directly set the colors. Like all F's would give you a white color for the notification light, and you can set that up. The third option or the third tip is for the double tap to wake, and this is a pretty useful option which was given first time in the LG phones, which was called as knock on, and this is a very handy one when you're having the phone on the table or somewhere in the pocket and didn't want to use the actual physical buttons to unlock the screen or activate the screen. For that you need to go to the settings, and under the settings there's the display and lights, and in that you see the option called as double tap to wake under the advanced settings. So this is where if you deactivate it, you won't be able to activate the screen by double tapping, and you can use only the physical keys to activate the screen. But when you enable that, there's just a couple of taps required on the screen when it's off, and it would activate the screen, and then you can unlock it just like the way you do it. The next tip is on how you can change the themes and look of the entire interface of the OnePlus One smartphone, and that is very much possible using the theme showcase application that comes pre-installed in the OnePlus One. And this is a very good application where you get to see a lot of themes, and you can download those themes because whenever you click on any theme that's available in the list, it would take you to the Play Store and nowhere else. So you can directly download the theme, and you can even purchase the themes for the ones which are the paid themes. And you can do a lot of other options such as changing the wallpapers, the sound packs, and a lot of stuff directly through the theme showcase option. The next handy tip is using the dual LED flash as a torchlight, and this is for every kind of user from the budget to the high-end smartphone user. And OnePlus One comes with a dedicated application for that. That's the Torch app, which is very simple to use, and just a tap required on the screen would activate the torch, and the dual LED flash would show up with the light, and that is quite bright, and we tried to use it for some time and the phone even doesn't heat up when the torch is on. So this is a very handy tip and an easy one to activate the torch light whenever you're using the OnePlus One smartphone. That's using the Torch application. The next one is on how you can capture the screencast or capturing the screen of Android as a video, and there's a dedicated application. This is seen only on the OnePlus One because there's one application for the Nexus 5, but that's available on the Play Store and only for the Nexus 5 device. No other Android phone can use this feature, but OnePlus One comes with this direct option called as Start Screencast, where once you start it, whatever you're doing on the screen would be recorded as a video, and you see a small circle on the screen that is showing the trial of your finger wherever you're using your finger or dragging it. So you can either enable or disable that option, which is right on the right side shown as show touches. Once you disable that, you won't see that little circle on the screen, and once you enable it, that little circle would come back to show where the actual tapping was being done. Once you stop it, you can directly preview there, and whatever voice you have used while taking the screencast would be recorded using the mic of the smartphone. So this is the preview of the video that we had just captured. It's the screencast application that you could use to capture the screen of the OnePlus One smartphone. So the next tip is on how you can make a contact blacklist. Making a blacklist is very useful if at all you had a few contacts which you don't want messages or calls from, and in the OnePlus One you get a direct setting under the options called as privacy settings, and in this privacy you will see an option called as blacklist, where the incoming calls and messages from the blacklisted phone numbers will be blocked. And this is useful when you wanted a particular phone number not to send SMSs to you or make calls to you. So this is the simple interface of that, where you can set the private numbers, unknown numbers, and use wildcards. For adding, you need to just tap on the plus icon, and you can go to the contacts and add them. You can choose even to block only the incoming calls or block both the calls and messages from the particular contacts in the blacklist. So the next option is on how you can edit the quick settings options under the notification panel. Just like most of the Android smartphones, this OnePlus One comes with the quick settings options when you drag the notification panel down from the right side, and these are the quick settings that you see here, and this is the normal notification panel. So these are the quick settings, and you can edit them by using the plus icon on the top right. And once you tap on press, you can see that you can now drag any of the quick settings to the particular locations that you wanted based on the connectivity and profiles, and the plus icon would give you to choose a tile which you wanted to add to the already present list. So there's ADB over network, camera, go to sleep, lock screen, LTE, network mode, and a lot of other options which you can directly add to the quick settings section, and you can either remove them or you can replace them to any of the places that you wanted to. So that's how easy it is, and this was the tip on how you can edit the quick settings and add the options to that. The next tip is on using the camera application directly from the lock screen. This is useful for those who regularly capture photos and wanted to access the camera very fast rather than going to the app list all the time. So when you see on the normal lock screen, there's nothing like a shortcut, and it's a very basic lock screen, but you need to go to the settings, and under the settings, once you go to the lock screen settings under personalization, you would see an option called as camera widget, which on enabling would give you a direct access to the camera on the lock screen. Now let me lock the screen, and when I drag the screen from the right corner to the left, and there's also a camera icon there, so when I drag the screen to the left, it would directly open the camera application. It is very easy to set up and very easy to use. You just need to drag the screen from the extreme right to the left, and there's a tiny screen that comes up to show that we are opening the camera, and then the camera app gets activated. The next tip is on how to change the default SMS application on your OnePlus One. Usually the phone comes with two SMS options. One is the messaging application, one is the Hangouts. Hangouts is from Google, and Google is trying to push the Hangouts application to be used as the default SMS app in most of the new Android smartphones, but you could still choose not to use that and use only the messaging application. To do that, you need to go to settings, and under the settings, the first option is the wireless and networks. In that, you need to go to more, and there's a direct option for that, default SMS app, and you can choose one of them in that. You would see two options, that's Hangout and messaging. You can even have more options if at all you downloaded any third-party messaging application from the Play Store. So right now we are seeing Hangouts and messaging. You can choose one of them to have the basic default application for your SMSs. So whatever SMS you receive would be shown on that particular selected application. The next one is on how to set up the owner info on the lock screen. On the lock screen right now you see the widget for the time and the camera and the weather information, but there's nothing else. But you can set up an owner info for in cases such as where you lost your phone or forget your phone somewhere. You could set up a contact information so that people can contact you to let you know that they found the phone. To do that, you need to go to the settings, and under security you see the second option called as owner info, and under owner info you can set up anything after enabling the option as show owner info on lock screen. Once you enable that, tap the text that you want. You could give some important information such as your phone number, so that they can contact you right away if at all they find the phone. There's no option to save it. You just need to go back, and once you check on the lock screen, it would show the message right on the top of the clock widget. Get back if you find this, and that's the phone number that we had set right now. So that's a very handy feature if at all you are in a case where you'll find lost the phone or forgot it somewhere. The next one is on how to change the button layout on the bottom section. OnePlus One comes with two options. One is to use the on-screen buttons or use the capacitive touch buttons in the bottom. Firstly, let me show you how you can change the layout of the buttons, the on-screen buttons. You need to go to the settings, and under the interface settings, you see the buttons and layout option. And in the buttons and layout, there's a big list of things that you can do. And for that, first you need to tap on the lock icon, so that it gets unlocked, and now you can make the changes that you wanted to. You just need to hold the actual icon and drag it to the left or right, and you can even add the search button or the menu button apart from this already present 3 icons. So it's very easy to move the icons from the left to right and set them up permanently for you. And once you are done with all the arrangement, you just need to tap the lock icon again, so that you can go back to the normal phone mode. So once this is set up, I can go to the lock icon and just lock it, and those icons are set. It would show as navigation bar settings have saved. So this was how you can change the layout of the buttons. Now to either use the on-screen buttons or have them turned off, you need to go to the settings, and again under the device settings you can see an option called as buttons, and here there's an option called as enable on-screen nav bar. So once you enable that, it would have those buttons on the screen itself, and once you disable that, you would see that you can use the buttons that are permanently placed on the bottom area of the phone. So as of now you see there's nothing, but once you tap on that, you would see the 3 buttons popping out on the screen itself. So this is handy when you wanted to have a smaller screen than it is already, and if at all you don't want to have those on-screen buttons and have a larger screen area, then you can disable that option and use the normal capacitive touch buttons. So the final tip is on how you could back up and reset your OnePlus One smartphone. There are 2 things in this. One is backing up and resetting. First thing is very important for those who have used the phone for a long time and have a lot of data on the device already. So these are a few things that you need to take care of: the contacts, the SMS, photos, which all has to be first backed up before you do the reset of the phone. And under the settings, you would see the personal settings, and in the personal settings itself, there is an option called as backup and reset. Once you go into that option, you see there's a backup my data, which has to be enabled so that all the passwords and the personal settings are backed up to your Google account before you do the factory data reset of the smartphone. So once you do the factory data reset, you will see that your Google account, system and app data and settings, downloaded apps, music, photos and other user data, all this gets deleted. All the app data and whatever games you have played, all that is backed up to your account, but still those apps get deleted from the smartphone. So once you tap on erase everything, the phone gets backed up and then reset, and you would be welcomed by a new screen. That's the screen which you see when you use the device for the first time. So these were the 14 very handy and useful features and the tips and tricks for the OnePlus One smartphone. Do like this video and share it with your friends, and do subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thank you.